Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night Zoom call. I am Kelly Foster, brand new senior Ruby on the Power team. And Julie, Stephanie, and I are going to walk you through kind of like a mini power hour, but utilizing very specifically the 8 steps that we were taught at convention by Emily Gibson. And so if you don't know who Emily Gibson is, she is Brooke Hemingway's level 1, and she is a diamond ambassador, and she is very, very, very good at what she does. That team is very successful. Brooke Hemingway is a diamond sapphire, and so they have so many things that they are just doing well and are sharing them with us. And so we did bring this to our team in the beginning of August, and I don't know if we've had an opportunity to really implement them or kind of walk through the steps, how many people who have, had an opportunity to practice them. But we just want to encourage you, and I went ahead and copied and pasted it to the runners chat just now, again, so that you can copy and paste it into your notes and save it in your notes. But the way that I think about this is it's kind of like a police officer who pulls out his Miranda card when he arrests somebody. It's something that maybe he's said, a kabillion times, but he still pulls that Miranda card out and reads from the card every single time he arrests somebody. And that is to ensure the consistency that is so important in being there, and the liability that's so important in being there. And so I really feel like if you pull these 8 steps out and you refer to them and physically check them off each time that you enroll a new ambassador, you're going to get better at it. Your confidence is going to grow, your language is going to grow, and make no mistake that these 8 steps are steps that are going to help you grow your business. It's going to contribute to your new ambassador's success, and it's going to contribute to your business success. And so we don't want you to skip any of them. And so even the ones that maybe in the beginning feel uncomfortable, we want you to do them anyway, because just like we learned from John Maxwell, the first time you do something, you might not be that great at it, but that doesn't mean you don't do it. Right? You kind of do it, and then whatever doesn't work, you evaluate that and you learn from it, and then you re-enter, right? You're going to do it again the next time, and you're going to do it better. And so we're just going to kind of walk through those 8 steps. So if you can pull those out, we did want to have like kind of a mini power hour, just giving you an opportunity to look at these steps. We added 60 ambassadors in July. That's a lot of people. And so we want to take this opportunity on this call to make sure that we have touched each one of these steps retroactively with the ambassadors that you enrolled in July. If you didn't enroll anybody in July, go back retroactively to June. If you haven't, maybe you're brand new and you haven't enrolled any ambassadors yet, then go through this language with us and take some notes, and you'll know how to properly enroll somebody when you do add your first ambassador, because you will. If you stick with it, you will. And so when you look at number one says to enroll over the phone. And so that's definitely a shift for a lot of us. But I'll tell you why we enroll over the phone. And this is just the bottom line, is because when you are enrolling somebody over the phone, you are able to, on the spot, overcome objections. And the biggest objection that people have, well, there's 2. When they're going through the enrollment process, one is their social security number. People are like, well, wait a minute, I don't want to put my social security number in there. And so, I've had people who have completely backed out of the process because of that. But explaining to them that the only reason why you're putting your social security number in there is because you're going to get paid commission on your own products, right? This is because you're going to be earning a small income. And so they have to be able to pay you. And that's the only reason why they're asking for your social security number. If you get paid more than $600, then you do have to pay income tax on it. But if you're a wholesale ambassador and you're simply earning back, cash back, just like if it were a Discover card, you're earning cash back, they have to be able to give that to you and via your social security number. The second big objection that we have, and I don't even know if it's an objection as much as people are sometimes perplexed by the subscription order process. And so when you are enrolling somebody on the phone, the more that you do this, the more you use this language, your body and your tone of voice is going to exude confidence, and that's going to give your new ambassador confidence. It's going to build their belief. And so their objection sounds like, well, I don't know what I want, or I don't know, why do I have to build a subscription order? And so your language is very simply going to be, when you are dealing with cellular health, when you are dealing with all natural products, you are not going to experience the results that you are looking for unless you are committed, unless you are committing to time and to daily taking your supplements. And so when you turn your subscription order on, you are making the commitment to yourself. You know that your products are going to show up at your door next month. And just by doing that, you are going to be more likely to take your products every day. And your results are going to depend on you taking these products every day. So let's go ahead and get it turned on. It's super easy once we have it set up. I'll show you how to go right into your back office and edit it or delay it or make any changes that you need to make. And so when you offer them that, that reasoning, when you're, kind of confirming for them that they are going to get the results and that it's easy once you get it set up to go in and edit it, they're going to be more comfortable moving forward and having that subscription order set up. And make no mistake about it, their success with these products is going to depend on them being consistent. And statistically, we know that if that subscription order is set up, they are, do you remember it's like 80% or something, the likelihood of them being consistent and then experiencing results. So we got to get that subscription order on. So walking them through the phone ensures that they don't miss getting that subscription order turned on. And that's really, honestly, the bread and butter for our business, because our success in this business depends on our customers getting results. Their results depend on them just being consistent and having their products show up on time. All right, so there's number one.
Okay, I also wanted to say that, having them on the phone, I can't tell you how many times I've been, I gave someone my link, I'm waiting for them to sign up, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and waiting. You have no idea if they're going to do it or not. And then you got to touch back with them and stuff. If you've got them on the phone, it's a done deal, and it's just a relief, Okay, step number 2, and I believe of all 8 steps, this is the hardest step, and I think it takes a lot of, not courage, but it's something that is outside maybe of your comfort zone. It is to ask them once they sign up to post a pink drink selfie of themselves drinking their pink drink, enjoying their pink drink, not saying anything necessarily about the product, just look what I'm doing. I started this. My friend Kelly has had amazing results. I'm hoping to have amazing results. And keep it very simple. As long as they tag their upline, in this case I would have tagged Kelly if it was me, so that when people respond to my post like, hey Julie, what are you taking? That sounds so cool. I don't have to answer it. Kelly will answer it for me. And Kelly will go on and give me the words that I need. And you tell them, you know what, please post this soft drink for me. I'll give you the verbiage that you need. I'll give you everything, make it simple, quick, and I'm going to help you for it and help you with it. And if you tell them that they're kind of doing it for you to help your business and to help you grow, people most likely will say yes. They won't feel intimidated. They don't think that, it's something that they have to do. Now they've got to sell, and just ask them to do you a favor. I can't remember. I think, however, most people will do this. Very few people will say, no, I don't want to help you. Or they'll say, I need some time. So that is step number 2.
Great. So if you're looking at the 8 things that you do every time you enroll a new ambassador, if you look all the way down to the bottom of that, it gives you the verbiage. And so I'll be very honest with you. In July, I added 6 ambassadors. And so this was the first month that I had an opportunity to implement these steps. And I will never ask you to do something that I am not going to do myself. And so I asked every single one of my new ambassadors, I sent them that, that request at the bottom, and I tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit more personal. But I am asking, hey, I have so many friends who are suffering. Would you do me a favor and take your pink drink selfie and tag me in it? And so I'm not asking them to sell. I'm not asking them to do that at all. And so I had 3 out of my 6 who did it. Nobody told me no. But the 3 who, said, yep, I'll do it. And they did it. The other 3 just, didn't respond to me. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not begging them. I'm not forcing them. They obviously didn't want to, and they weren't comfortable saying, no, I really don't want to. And so it's cool. So I had 3 of my brand new ambassadors who posted their pink drink selfie. They tagged me in it. And I had one of my brand new ambassadors who ended up starting a 3-way chat, because, people are going, well, what is it? What is this pink drink? Especially if it's somebody who has a lot of influence and has a lot of, motion on their page. People are going to be intrigued. That FOMO reality is huge. And so if you can get them to post a pink drink selfie and it's a non-threatening situation, they're doing it for you, people are going to ask, well, what is this? Well, tell me more. And so the response at that time is, I'll private message you. I'll private message you. I'll private message you. And they simply, in that private message, are going to add their upline. They're going to learn by virtue of me answering the questions. And it really just takes all of the pressure off of them. So, again, Julie was talking about it being hard or being uncomfortable. You do it anyway. You do it anyway. And then the more you do it, the more normal it becomes, the more comfortable you will be doing it. But think about, I don't know if you guys saw the pink drink selfies that were popping up on my page, but that's validation. That's third party, validation. And that's building your business. And so you want to ask. They may not do it, but you want to ask. Emily Gibson, when she taught us this at convention, she said, I ask everybody. Yes, everybody, even my Aunt Edna. And, I think it's good duplication. Otherwise, I wouldn't be, asking you to do it. And she wouldn't be teaching it to us if it did not work. So, okay, so that's number 2. So you guys, but you can just kind of nod. Is this something that you... Shall we take a moment to kind of go work retroactively and send a couple of those messages, or shall we just kind of move through this and then you can do it, work through these steps on your own time? What do you think? You can unmute yourself if you have an opinion.
I was just thinking it might take a little bit of time I don't know how long the other steps will take.
Yeah. Okay.
To see how long. Yeah. I don't know how long it would take to get through everything if we stop. Bless you.
Okay. All right. Bless you. I agree. So we'll just kind of move on, and then as you are working and doing your IPA, obviously incorporating these moving forward, but taking any of these steps and working retroactively, as you're doing your, kind of getting your work in each day. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay, Jules. Oh, that was you. No, it's me again. Okay. All right. So follow up. She taught a very specific strategy. She actually has a video on this. Is Emily Gibson again on follow up, and she actually refers to her corporate trainer who taught her this. That most people are not getting anywhere near the follow-up that they need to be successful. And so he teaches that you need to be following up 4 times in the first 30 days. So in your steps, when you enroll somebody, you're going to pull out your calendar, whether you have a paper calendar or whether you're using your Outlook on your phone. And in the first, you're going to count, actually the first week she says to reach out after the 4th day. And so after the 4th day, you're saying, okay, you've gotten your products. Our shipping department is super fast. I hope you're excited. Here's your schedule. Here's your, maybe some possible die-off symptoms that you may experience, so on and so forth. So touching base, in the first 4 days, just making sure that they've gotten their products. And then it's every 7 days. So the next 21 days, every 7 days. And so you go ahead and you pencil that right into your calendar, or you type that right into your Outlook calendar. So you're actually going to, each day you're going to not have to remember, well, who should I be following up with today? When you turn that page in your calendar, it's going to say, I need to be following up with Kathy. And it's going to say, this is my follow-up number 1, follow-up number 2, follow-up number 3, follow-up number 4. So when you're following up for the 3rd time, guys, this is the time where people start to experience die-off. It's that, after that first 10 days is, where that ProBio 5 is really digging in, and people are starting to feel a little, iffy sometimes. And so when you're following up at that point, your questions are going to be specific. How many times a day are you pooping? Are you falling into a good routine with your products? How much water a day are you drinking? You should be shooting for 3 liters a day. Take 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. And so you want to tailor your follow-up for knowing kind of where they are, in that process. But by doing the consistent follow-up, they're not going to feel abandoned. They're not going to feel like, what is happening to me? This is crazy. This is, and all alone, and are going to be less likely to bail on the process. So 4 follow-ups in the first 30 days. Okay.
Okay. Next, are you good? Okay. Next, step 4 is to start a 3-way chat between you and your sponsor and your new person to introduce them to your sponsor. Have a nice conversation. It would definitely help your sponsor if you did that, so that they know who your new person is. And it helps just create some third-party validation. It gives your new person another face that they can contact, feel comfortable with asking questions. And it just broadens the support system. So please make sure that you are doing, promoting and having the 3-way chats. I know I haven't been involved in a lot of them, and the ones that I have, it's just nice to get to know the people. Yeah. That's all I got on that.
Yeah, it's a really simple step, and maybe you skipped it because you thought, oh, this isn't important. But if you're doing it with every single one of your ambassadors, because you've already given them a place to reach out, if they have questions, they're going to be more likely to reach out when they have questions. And what we don't want is for them going, oh my gosh, is this normal? Why am I feeling this way? And then just, bailing because they didn't feel like they had that support community. But the more opportunities that we have to plug people into this team and into this community, the more that they see that there's a lot of people who are on this same path with me, that's going to also increase their likelihood for success. So adding them in that chat, it's going to do no harm whatsoever. It's going to give them a place to ask questions should they feel they need to. It's giving them that one extra, support. And if they don't need it, then they won't use it. Okay. All right. So number 5 is while you are, working with this person and I just was looking at it and thinking maybe it should be number 2 or maybe you pick up the phone again. But number 5 is who do you know that could be an accountability partner for you? And so just sharing the verbiage with them and the understanding that your likelihood for success increases substantially when you add accountability. And, Julie will tell you, if you don't know, she was one of my first 3 ambassadors that helped me go silver. And when I started taking these products, before I had any results, I kind of, grabbed her and said, do this with me. We may hate it. It might not work, but we'll do it together. It'll be more fun. Getting healthy with a partner is more fun than doing it by yourself. And, it's a simple conversation to have and to share that with them. Maybe they hadn't even thought about, oh, well, let me see if my best friend wants to do this with me. And so just planting the seed, asking, letting them think about it. who do you know that would be a great accountability partner for you, that would do this with you, and you can get healthy together. And so just having that conversation. And that's number 5. Okay, number 6.
Okay, number 6. So you've talked to your new ambassador, you know their health situations, if they have any, because you're going to need to send them a schedule on how to take their products. And so you're going to send them either a slow schedule if they have some IBS or Crohn's stomach issues, or the fast start, schedule that gets them to 4 probiotics in, I believe, 20 some days. So you need to know which one they need to start with. Then they also need to know that there could be some die-off symptoms involved. They should send them the little graphic that has all the die-off symptoms on there, so they know what to expect. And make sure you reassure them that if they are experiencing any kind of die-off, it doesn't mean that Plexus is not for them. It means that the products are actually working, and they have a lot to get cleaned out. So that just kills me when I hear from people and they say, well, it's just not for me. It just doesn't work. And I know what it is that they're going through the die-off. And even, you can educate them, to the hilt. And sometimes people get a little, die-off is not pleasant, or it wouldn't be called die-off. So just make sure that they are well informed as to what is going to happen and what could possibly happen, so that they don't get, scared off. So there are 2 different schedules that you can send to them, and those are on our on the team page. And make sure you are educating them on the die-off and what die-off is. That was number 6.
Okay, I think it's important to say that these items are not necessarily in order. I think that's kind of what as we're going through them, like, it's just kind of rumbling around my head. I don't think that they're necessarily in order of when, but there are 8 steps that you want to make sure that you do with every new ambassador that you enroll. They don't have to necessarily be in this order. You'll find an order that, works for you. But, some of them obviously lend themselves to being done immediately. I know when I enroll a new ambassador, the very first thing that I do, after I've enrolled them, obviously, is I send them that schedule, and I send them the die-off symptoms. We've already had a discussion about die-off, but I send them to them so that I know they have them, and I don't have to worry, did it take 2 days? Did it take 3 days? So I just want them to have them. So that's kind of something that I do immediately. Okay, so number 7, this is a big one. This is adding your new ambassadors to a team page. And so, the thing is, we don't want to overwhelm anybody. And we have a lot of team pages. We have, the Power Team page. We have Lisa's Ladies and Gents. I know Rochelle's team, they have a separate team page. We have Jewel Heist. There's lots of team pages. And we don't need to overwhelm anybody. We want to make sure that they are on at least one team page. Look at you'll know the person, and you'll know kind of where to go with that, but at least their immediate team page. As an ambassador, they have a right to this information. They are privy to this information. It is not fair. It's not our call to keep that from them. We can't control anybody leaving a team page if they're like, I don't want this information. We can't control that, but everybody gets added. Everybody gets welcomed to a team page. And that's that third-party validation that we talk about all the time that is so important. Being a part of a community, seeing that there are other people who are on this journey and who are experiencing success, learning about the products, that's really an important just piece of helping them to be successful, and the training that, we want to make sure that they are exposed to. And, on the business side, you never know when one of your wholesale customers is going to, catch, a bit of inspiration from the business side of it that we post on our team pages. And, they may be the people that come back to you in 6 months or 8 months or a year and say, okay, I've been watching this business stuff go on our team page for 6 months now. I can do this, and so we don't want to keep people, keep the information from them. this is information that they have a right to. And so everybody gets added to a team page. We want to welcome them. We want to let them know that we're so happy that they're here, that we are rooting for them. And so we want to make sure that everybody gets added to a team page.
Okay, and then finally, to share the what to expect video. Brooke Hemingway does an amazing kind of refresher, or if it's the first time hearing it, thoroughly goes through and explains triplex. And I added that onto our messenger chat so that you can have that video right there, copy it, put it into your notes so that you have it, so that that gets sent out. Just hearing her go through and explain what could happen, and just how to take the products and why triplex is so important, it just kind of solidifies everything, and it's a good way to, you know, besides you saying it, having someone else validate triplex is amazing. So there was an ambassador boot camp at one time video, but that needs to be updated, and we're hoping to do that. Possibly Kelly and I update that for you so that it will be our voices on there.
Yeah, the new ambassador boot camp, I really like. I don't feel like necessarily everybody needs to have new ambassador boot camp. New ambassador boot camp is for people who are wanting to share about these products. And so, you know, I usually tag people in that when I know that they're ready to start sharing a little bit. I know that there are people who share it with everybody. And so I think, you know, I think that's you can kind of make the call on that for now. But we are going to next Monday be having a new ambassador orientation. We're not going to call it boot camp. So it gives it's not necessarily just if you are ready to share, but it's a new ambassador orientation. And so we'll kind of it'll be a little bit more general than that, but we want you to plan on being here every Monday that you can be here, to plug into this team, and I don't want this to be harsh at all. But, you know, I think you get to a point in this business where you go, okay, I'm working my business. I'm definitely working a business here. I'm wanting my business to grow. And so this is one of the things that if you're saying, I want my business to grow, then this has to be a priority for you. And not just this team call, but anytime you can get plugged in to people who are experiencing success and who are sharing duplication, that builds your belief, that builds your confidence, that strengthens your resolve, and teaches good duplication. And so, you know, Julie and I are committing to being here every Monday and doing the work to make sure that we have something to offer you. And so I think it's just a PSA, you know, plug into as many of these trainings as you can plug into. And, you know, that cliche that you hear, you know, either if it's important, you'll find a way. And if it's not important, you'll find an excuse. And I feel like that sounds harsh, but, you know, I think that's true to an extent. You know, if it's important, you find a way to make it happen. And so kudos to you guys for all being here. And, you know, life happens and sometimes we can't. And, you know, so take that for what it's worth. I love you all. I'm saying that with love.
But at least we're being very, you know, every Monday we're going to be here. So it's not going to be any surprises. We're not flip-flopping days. It's easy to schedule around too.
All right.
Okay.